Another day, another thought. Welcome all to another edition of the Double Thought Show. Hope you guys are doing well. As you guys know, I'm RJ here together with my co-host KR.
Welcome all.
I want to give a shout out to everyone who's following the live show and, of course, those catching the rebroadcast as well. Really appreciate your support. Guys, please put one in the chat to let us know you can hear us and see us. Just want to make sure that you guys don't miss out on anything.
So while RJ is checking the chat, remember, guys, to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, like the show. Start by liking the show right now. Well, the live show and also the rebroadcast. It helps us with the algorithm and the recommendations, of course. And don't forget to subscribe. That's very important. That's one of the goals we have this year, to increase the subscribers. We think the viewership is going the right direction, but the subscribers really we're trying to aim to improve that. Yes, and of course, as I always say, share the video with your friends, families, or distract your enemies with the videos.
Yeah, man. So before we proceed with the full stories of today, I want to add the usual disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed in this show, particularly in the articles and videos we show, do not necessarily reflect the opinions of KR, nor my opinion, nor of the Double Thought show or our YouTube channel. All topics are for entertainment purposes only. Viewer discretion is advised. All commentary is alleged. We're not financial or life advisors or any kind of advisors in this show. We're purely here to provide you with entertainment and share our thoughts and opinions with our followers. And of course, we like to hear the thoughts and opinions of our followers as well. For personal advice, with whatever you're dealing with, we urge you to seek out support from the respective professionals in the field in which you require assistance.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I think we can start right away.
It's showtime.
In today's show, we have the team. Are you the deer in the headlights or are you the driver? Which one are you? I'm not asking you, RJ, but I'm asking in general. Today we'll discuss two topics, two themes, two topics that basically happened this past week. In the first chapter, we will have two chapters today. In the first chapter, we will discuss Usain Bolt, who was defrauded out of 12 million US dollars. 12 million US. Huh?
Pocket change
For him, maybe.
or Elon Musk.
Yes, 12 million. So obviously, I think we already know what Usain is in this case. He was caught up in the headlights. And we was not the only one down in Jamaica who was caught up in the headlights. We'll talk about it later. Just keep on watching. And in chapter 2, we will be talking about Flo Rida. Some say Florida, but his name is Flo Rida.
Yeah.
Or Flo Rida. Which one is it? I don't know.
It's definitely not Florida.
Well, all this happened in Florida, though.
Of course it is.
Of course, it would happen in Florida. Where else? He was awarded about 83 million to 85 million dollars.
So sorry to interrupt you, but if Texas is the home of the brave, then Florida is the land of the free.
Or the wicked. Anyway, he got awarded 83 to 85 million from his Celsius lawsuit, where we had Usain Bolt being the deer in the headlights. It seems like Flo Rida was the driver. He pressed on the gas and went full speed as soon as he saw Celsius in the headlights. You know, after we all know what happened.
Yeah, guys, I'm gonna add the link in the chat. So for those of you who want to come up and maybe share your thoughts with us, your thoughts and opinions. So keep an eye out for that.
Yes. So let's see. Can we start the show already, RJ?
I think we can.
Where do we begin?
We begin with Usain Bolt, as we said already. Earlier this week, we heard that things were getting hot down there in Jamaica.
I was gonna say caliente, but that doesn't apply in Jamaica.
Man, no caliente. They don't talk Spanish down there. It was getting hot in the streets of Jamaica. The attorney of Olympic heavyweight and legend Usain Bolt suggested earlier this week that he got lifted and made a lightweight. Literally. As 12.7 million on his brokerage account mysteriously dwindled.
Wow, dude.
Wait, you haven't heard to how much?
Okay. You mean to tell me there's more?
There's more. It dwindled to a mere 12,000.
Yeah. Wow.
Crazy. It's crazy. The allegations was against the Jamaican company or brokerage, Stocks and Securities Ltd, SSL. They are just one of 15 registered broker dealers on the Jamaican Stock Exchange. Usain is estimated for around about, let's say, 90 to 100 million. 90 to 100 million. So it's basically if a bit more than 10% of his net worth was slashed off like this.
A bit more.
Yeah, 10%, a bit more than 10%, yes.
No, I mean, the way you say it, it seems like the way you say it, it sounds like it's not a lot of money. That's what I'm saying. A bit more than.
A bit more. Okay, it's a bit more. Yes. You might be right on that. Maybe I'm downplaying the 2%, but that's anyway.
Yeah.
Well, that's still 2 million. If that's the real amount. But guys, Usain makes about 10 to 30 million a year annually just of endorsements. He has deals with Puma, Gatorade, Hublot, Virgin Media, Nippon Airways, Enertor. I don't know that company, but I've read about it. Let's put it this way. Allianz Direct, which is a German company. The Australian telecom company Optus. And last but not least, Visa. Well, I think you will have to probably work a bit harder this 2023 and 2024 to cover that amount. But as you know, as always, here at the Double Thought Show, we bring up the receipts. We come with the receipts. What better way to do that by to go down the streets of Jamaica? And we did. Today we have a couple of clips from Sportsmax, which is a Jamaican sports channel here on YouTube. And they are talking about the matter. George and Mariah are going to explain it all. So let's start right away with basically a short part of the clip.
And I'm working alongside a lady who doesn't work in the financial sector, Mariah Ramaran.
Yeah, but a lady who doesn't play with her money, and it's a lot of money, George, that's missing. They've basically cleaned out the man's account. I'm telling you, I wouldn't be able to function.
I want to read just a little bit from just as background, viewers, you would have been aware that there has been fraud, not a fraud. There has been fraud of monumental proportions at one of our investment firms in Jamaica, Stocks and Securities Limited, one of the oldest, if not the oldest. I remember investing in Stocks and Securities, Mariah, when I was in third year in university. That was 2004. And I was approached by the gentleman, 2005, the year that I graduated. I was approached by the gentleman whose father founded the firm. So it was Mark Croskery. his father, Hugh Croskery, had founded Stocks Securities Limited, and I started with them at that time, and it was highly reputable early, and it has forged its reputation over time. But we're hearing now that for at least 5 years, well, 2017 to now would be 6 years. So at least 6 years now, there have been problems at Stocks and Securities Limited. And those those issues came to a head with news that Bolt, among others, had been fleeced of billions of Jamaican dollars, millions of US dollars, billions of US dollars, and that the company, well, billions of Jamaican, millions of US dollars. The company is now in receivership. So the Financial Services Commission, the regulators of the financial sector in Jamaica, they've sent in someone to act as temporary manager.
Right.
So once that happens to the company is dead in its tracks. For those who are old enough of memory to remember, things.
By the way, RJ, just one thing. I think you posted the wrong link.
Yeah, I did. So I'm working on posting the new one actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
But while you're doing it, so guys, it's a serious matter. As you can hear, we're talking about millions. So Bolt is not the only one being hit by this. It's a serious matter. RJ, are you familiar with the concept of the receivership, which George basically was talking about?
I am not. It's not something that we let's say, so that is known in the area of law which I practice, but I can look it up real quick.
Okay.
Just let me finish the putting up the link because I'm a man. I can only one thing at once. So I'll get back to you on that one.
It's in the file.
Okay. Cool.
Anyway, so receivership, I think it has to do with someone basically taking over because the company is going down. If the way he talked about it, so it seems like the brokerage company is in the same situation as FTX, where someone else is basically taking over because they are close to bankruptcy. I'm not sure, but
well, if it's so you have the in bankruptcy law, you call them, I don't know if it's the same thing, but you have trustees, and those are basically people who are, as you said, in charge of putting in the of taking over, and the main purpose is to try to collect as much money as possible, and so the main focus is to make sure that the creditors of that particular company do not get harmed more than they are already are. So maybe it's the same. So if it's what you say it is, then it's probably the same. So it's the equivalent of a trustee, let's say.
okay.
It's not yet, the company is not yet bankrupt, but you do let someone take over.
Okay,
And
okay.
I believe so. A majority of countries, you have financial companies that fall under the central bank, or at least a central financial supervisory institution, and as a condition to establish companies such as stock or investment companies, you would need to comply with laws of that particular institution as well. So most of the times it's not most of the times financial institutions do not fall only under the law, but they also have like specific rules that apply to financial institutions. So so what I mean to say, just to finish up my thought, the trustee, oftentimes a trustee is more, you can say they have the same task, and maybe it is the same, maybe it's just a different name for the same person, but maybe it's the receivership can also be someone that has a particular status under the, let's say, financial laws, maybe the central bank laws of the country.
Okay. So guys, the new link is in the chat. It's also been pinned, so in case people start chatting, it will stay on top, so you can call in whenever you want to. Thank you for that explanation, RJ. Let's continue with the seconds, which
Yo,
basically, huh?
before we continue, there's something bothering me. So is it me or is this shirt a bit blurry? Because it
Yeah,
seems like
they're not really improving.
friendly for the camera.
Yeah.
Just give me a moment to put on. I know the hoodie is your thing, but for this show, give me a moment to put on.
We are going full Jamaican.
Give me a moment, man.
Hoodie man. Okay. I will still continue with the show while you come back. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So guys, that's the first clip. We will continue here with the second clip, which basically describes more of the situation in Jamaica.
Sprint legend Usain Bolt is among scores of victims of a massive fraud at one of Jamaica's oldest investment companies, Stocks and Securities Limited, SSL. Bolt invested about $10 million with the company in 2012 and did not make any drawdowns. Acting on the advice of an ex-employee, Bolt, along with his legal team, recently reviewed the account. They found that the $12.7 million that was reflected on the account as at October 31 last year had been depleted to just $12,000 by early this month. An employee at the company, Jean Ann Panton, submitted a sworn statement to the police in which she confessed to perpetrating fraud against 39 customers at SSL. Now, the statement dated...
Can you guys hear the video, by the way?
Yeah, we can.
Okay.
January 7, 20 customers at SSL. Now, the statement dated January 7, 2023 lists the names of those fleeced and the amounts taken from their accounts. However, Bolt's name is conspicuous by its absence from the list.
So there's a lot of money. A lot of people have been lifted. It's a list of basically everyone who was part of this problem. Well, not part. They were the victims of this particular person, Jean Ann Patton, who was basically using customers' funds to fund her lifestyle.
Sounds familiar. Sounds like a recurring theme in our...
Sounds like something we were talking about the last few shows.
Yeah. Since the inception of Double Thought.
Again?
I said since the inception of Double Thought Show.
Yes. Well, but as they say, maybe you've not catch this in the beginning, RJ, but they said basically that someone of the firm tipped our friend, the legend, Usain Bolt, about his money being gone. We'll hear later who that person is.
Okay, cool.
Which is quite remarkable. But yeah, it's as you can see, we were talking here already about, if I do real quick, it's about 700K from the top of my head. Let me see. 7 to 800, 900. But this is not only the only amounts. Oh, by the way, that's also there's missing some. So but we're talking about millions of this list alone. She brought the list just to make sure she doesn't get the allegations of the missing money of Usain.
Of course.
Hunter.
It's like they say when you, I don't know, I know they say it in Dutch, right? When someone, when there are a lot of, like, let's say a couple of people in the room, and someone says, "Hey, who farted?" It's usually, they say it's usually that person that did it.
Yeah. But there is a catch here. The catch is down the road. I push the catch down the road, guys. The story is quite bizarre. If I have to tell you this one, I've never seen someone like this before in the stories we've covered so far. So, going to the third clip, which basically will describe the statements of the lawyers after announcement that it's all went wrong.
In the mid-1990s, it's a similar situation. So stocks and securities will be dead. But Mariah, I'm prevaricating, I'm preambling. Today, Bolt's lawyers, Mariah, and I want to hear your comment on this if you have anything to say, because they wrote, Frater Ennison Gordon, attorneys at law and notaries public, they said to the manager of Stocks and Securities Limited, "Dear sir, we represent the Honorable Ambassador Usain St. Leo Bolt, a retired Olympian, and who we are instructed established an account with you via a limited liability company, which account is in essence our client's self-designed pension." So the lawyers are confirming that this is Bolt's pension that was saved, well, was invested with Stocks and Securities. They go further.
The pension. They blew the guy's pension. And maybe also basically money of his 3 kids. Olympia Lightning. St. Leo. And you would never guess the name of the
Or
third
those
guy.
names?
Yes, that's the names. I'm trying
Okay,
to make it around here, man.
Give me the first two, and I'll try to guess it.
Olympia Lightning.
Yeah.
The second one is St. Leo, which is basically a play on his own name.
Okay.
And the third one, you will never guess it.
I'll never guess it.
Well, you can guess it if you think logically.
Well, I'll never guess it. Boltina.
No.
Okay. Tell me, man.
Well, Thunder.
Okay, yeah. Should have seen it.
Thunderbolt.
Yeah. Should have seen it coming.
So everything logical. People play games with their kids' names these days. They make them a walking joke, basically, sometimes. Anyway, nothing against the kids.
It will be a joke if no. It will be a joke. Let it go, man.
Don't go for the kids. Don't go for the kids. At this show, we don't go for the kids unless the kids stole the money.
No. Yeah. Or if the kid is 50 Cent's son. But I think but it wasn't on the kids though. But I don't think we can just. I think it's better to just move on.
Okay, so basically they went for his pension, but the attorneys are basically also going to mandate. So they didn't only describe what money he put on there. They're always also giving instructions to the directors of the firm. Let's see what these were.
Our instructions are, Mariah, I want you to listen carefully. Our instructions are that up to the 31st day of October 2022, the balance standing to the said account was, listen again, United States $12,758,181.74. $12.758 million was in Bolt's account, his lawyers say, as at October 31, 2022. They say, we are now frighteningly instructed that mysteriously our client's said account, which at October 31, 2022 had 12.758 million US, now has $12,047.65 US.
What?
Yes, boy.
George, that is ridiculous. It's a massive clean out of his money. And of course, he has a right to give them a time for him to get back his money.
Absolutely. So the lawyers say if
Yo, KR, do you think they thought that he wouldn't notice the lack of zeros?
I don't know what kind of sick humor the person has who cleaned that stuff up, but
He left the 12 on it. He left the 12 just to maybe he thought, well, if I make it, if I do, if I leave 7,000, he might notice. Well, I just leave the 12 and take away 3 zeros.
oh man, some people are just sick.
Savages. Yeah.
Savages, man, savages. Anyway, it was all good just a couple of months ago, but we'll see later on. I'm not sure if I took that part as well, but basically it wasn't all this time. What also was said by the attorneys was the following.
we are hoping it is not, then a serious act of fraud or a combination of both have been committed. It is not.
Get back his money.
Absolutely. So the lawyers say if this is correct, and we're hoping it is not, then a serious act of fraud or a combination of both have been committed against our client. Henceforth, the lawyers say, we are demanding that this be done within the next 10 days, failing which we will take all legal actions against you and your directors, which action will include civil and criminal procedures. Beyond what the lawyers have said, who have they sent the letter to? They've sent the letter to the Prime Minister, Andrew Holness, the Finance Minister, Dr. Nigel Clark, the Financial Secretary, Darlene Morrison, the Governor of the Bank of Jamaica, Richard Biles, and the Executive Director of the Financial Services Commission, Everton McFarlane, the attorney representing Usain Bolt of the firm Frater Ennison Linton, Linton P. Gordon, a very, very experienced attorney. He was one of the stars of the show. I remember it very well, like it was yesterday, at the Manat Phelps and Phillips Commission of Inquiry in Jamaica. He represented those individuals from the Jamaica Defense Force who were called to make submissions to the tribunal. A man, in common parlance, you can't go around Linton Gordon. A serious attorney, because it's in common parlance, you can't go around Linton Gordon. A serious attorney, because it's a serious matter.
Serious attorney. Hey, they spread that letter around.
Yeah. Well, I'm just thinking. I'm thinking maybe I should use that as my in my next promo, man.
A serious
attorney. Yeah.
Maybe we can ask him to do a jingle for you.
Yeah, maybe.
You can use that clip.
Yeah,
RJ, a serious attorney.
I'd rather ask permission, because if he sends the serious attorney, then we'll have a serious problem.
You have some serious problems. But as an ambassador of Jamaica, I think what you can hear right now is Bolt using his weight, at least the ones he has left, to push higher ups to make something happen.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is not all. We're coming to the bizarre part.
Oh, we're reaching it. Okay, cool.
We're reaching it. We are here at the bizarre part. Bizarre world we live in. Just listen to this one.
Now, a lot of tongues, Mariah, were set wagging by the fact that Jean Panton's statement, which was
Jinan is the fraudster,
Yeah.
guys.
Alleged fraudster.
Everything is alleged on this show.
If you don't,
Don't
believe
forget
us,
that,
go check.
people.
If you don't believe us, go check out our disclaimer.
It's on the disclaimer beneath this
And-
video and a couple of minutes ago. And our attorney at law also said it just a second ago.
Just a second ago.
endorsed by a justice of
Technically, she admitted herself, but let's continue.
the peace as to its statement, which was endorsed by a justice of the peace as to its authenticity, which she gave to the police in a debriefing session in the presence of her attorney, Tamika Harris, that people started talking when that statement was examined and found to make no mention of Mr. Bolt. What we are hearing is that Panton, a family friend of the Bolts, was actually the one who alerted Usain Bolt to the fact that his account had been compromised. So what she effectively told the police, and she said it by not saying it, was that where Bolt's money is concerned, it wasn't me.
Yeah.
Yo,
One, the timing of Panton.
yo,
Guys,
yo,
don't steal from your friends.
yo.
Basically, what she did, she didn't steal from, she stole from everyone else except her family friend.
Yeah.
And when she saw, oh, this is crazy. When she saw that the money of Bull was gone, she went to the police, as a good friend does, and gave herself in. I didn't do anything. I just stole from those people.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Yeah.
This
Well,
is quite bizarre. This is quite bizarre.
at the other hand, it's clear that she values her friendship with Bolt more than he does her reputation. On the other hand, she probably did it because she didn't want to be accused. She didn't want her name to be the one associated with the theft of Bolt's
You-
money.
You say money, yeah. All the others, I don't care.
I don't care.
Pocket change. I don't want to say for that one.
Yeah.
The question is here, did someone saw the fraud happening and try to skim some money from themselves and have her take the blame for it? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Time will tell. This will be continuing for the next probably a year or so. I don't know how fast the Jamaican judicial system works, how fast they act, but this seems like a very interesting case. Let's continue watching this video. Last part.
Statement.
Concerned, it wasn't me.
Yeah. So one,
That where Bolt's money is concerned,
Seems like something that Jamaicans love to say.
What?
it wasn't me.
yeah. So one, the timing of Panton's statement. So basically, she came out when the situation got out of hand because, of course, Usain Bolt, unlike these other people, and you mentioned the footballer, that a situation would have happened. And of course, it didn't reach the level of the media that, of course, a Usain Bolt situation would reach. And the authorities, like we didn't hear from the finance minister, Nigel Clark. Maybe he didn't even know that this footballer was, defrauded of his money and whatnot. I think she recognized how serious this situation has become. And of course, she's just getting it out of the way that, yes, I would have defrauded people, but I have nothing to do with Usain Bolt. As to clear her name and to ensure that, the punishment is going to be, it's going to be a tough punishment for her. And if, just having your name out there in such a manner is not a bad punishment as it is already, I just felt as if she just wanted to say, I have no part with this. So you need to check somebody else.
But here's the thing. And that
Clearly, yo, this is kind of crazy if you think about it. Oh man, I mean, Mariah is right.
Yeah.
She,
But
she it's yeah.
But it's also another thing that plays a role is the host, the male host. He said
George.
George. Okay, so George said that the firm was a pretty reputable firm.
Yes. He even invested in the past with them.
Yeah. So
George.
pretty. So goes to show you, it takes years to build your reputation, and it takes at least two fools to throw it
Oh,
to throw it all away
to throw
within
it all away.
days.
Days,
Within
months.
days.
So apparently, what they also were saying is that people were trying to reach their accounts. So, for example, not sure how the situation of Usain unfolded, but well, specifics. But what I understand is that when people were trying to go there, or at least take out the money, the amount they could see on their bank account was not the amount that was really on their account. So basically, it was the amount they that was showing was fictional. So let's say, for example, I have $10,000 on my account. I call them. I want to withdraw all my money, all the 10,000. They tell you, "Oh, sir, there ain't no 10,000.
But
There's only 1,000. Good luck. Because luck you will need."
yo, that's
Roger.
crazy, man. But so are you saying that on their accounts or on their, let's say, online banking or their stakes, so they saw a different number than what was actually in their accounts?
Yep. Both. Well, I mean, these are stories from George. So George is our reporter on the streets in Jamaica. So I will listen to what he says because he has the connection, not the direct link to us. Let's put it that way.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Your lawyer talks always, man. Anyway.
Hey, man. So I'll tell you. Yeah. So I'll just share a quick story now. So and then we can continue. I went for my assistant planned a photo shoot, a corporate shoot for me like 2 weeks ago.
Mhm.
The photographer was a real professional, but we were walking in the city and he was just looking at places, looking at locations. Like, yeah, go there, put your pose there, put your the bottom of your shoe against the wall. Okay, now, here's a nice veranda or a nice porch. Let's go there and take a picture. I'm like, yeah, this is in my mind that, this is trespassing. This is trespassing. Okay, are there people watching? Like, seriously? And he noticed it, and I asked him, actually. I was like, I mean, do you usually work like this? He's like, yeah, this is what I do. It's like, hasn't anyone ever cussed you out? Sometimes, yeah. But I'll just go to another location. And then he started laughing because he knew why I was asking. The lawyer in me was looking. I saw myself in handcuffs, thinking like, this is it, man.
This is it. No more double thought show.
Yeah.
I gotta sell my share.
Yo, KR can't do this Saturday show, man.
Hey, man, We'll find a lookalike.
Yeah. I mean, what? Maybe you can. I don't know where. No, that was gonna be a different kind of joke. Yeah. That's
I'm not gonna say who that lookalike is, but
okay. Good.
let's continue. Let's continue. So let's see. But as you can see right now, it's not only Usain Bolt that's being hurt. The whole company. Well, there's been millions stolen from other accounts as well.
So you mean the investment company?
Mhm.
Yeah.
What you saw in FTX, but also in this case, is that the big names are always being named, but it's always the little guy, woman, who usually is hurt the most. Because for Usain, it was 10% of his network. Some people have their life savings there.
Yeah.
And George shares one of those stories in this clip.
The other thing to consider is that last week, Thursday, I got a call. I got a voice note last night, very late. You know that I shut down after 9. Yeah, I got it.
So what
very late.
happened? You were up.
No, the phone woke me up. The alerts woke me up,
Yeah.
and I checked, and it was a very good friend who we were work colleagues once when I had just come into the business, and she told the story of her life savings being in there. She told me,
At the same company.
yes, she told me that, George, when I heard, she said red flags went up when they kept changing her agent. She said she got about 3 different agents in the space of about 2 months. And she's saying, no, something is wrong. And then she checked on her money and said, oh, wait, can I access the funds? No, you can't. She said, no. So she ran down there. She said, when she went down there last week, Thursday, she says she encountered some rich-looking people, to use the phrase she used. And she made attempts to get her money, couldn't get it. She is distraught. She is broken. She says she and her husband and her family have sat and spoken, and they don't know what their next move is, because she said, George, I deprived myself of a lot of things to build up my nest egg. Every blade of grass in that nest where the egg is in Stocks and Securities, and all of it is gone.
Yeah, that's her life savings. I just,
Mm. That's heartbreaking. I mean, this is not the first time I wouldn't use the word covering, but let's say a story like this is the topic of our show. But I do think it's heartbreaking to hear things like that.
Yeah.
You deprive yourself from experiences. Maybe you say, you know what? No, I'm not going to a party today. I'm not going to a vacation abroad. I'm staying here to put the money to invest for later. Maybe you're thinking of your kids, to whom you want to leave, some inheritance for, and to see everything just disappear like that. It's like it's devastating.
Definitely.
It's devastating.
Devastating. If it's the thing is, I don't know if in Jamaica they have like a lot of countries, or Western countries, you have like a security where the central bank basically covers part of those losses in case of fraud. Or let's say if the company goes bankrupt,
Yeah.
I don't know if they have that in Jamaica. Even if they have that, maybe it doesn't cover the full amount of their life savings.
Probably not. It's probably not gonna cover, because usually it's like I believe it's like a portion that they need to deposit at the central bank or an institution like that. So it's like a it's like a security. It's a
So do they
security.
only do percentage?
I don't know. I don't know exactly how it goes, but I mean, just if I think
Security.
logically, then it's never one on one. You know, if it's not like you have 1 billion in assets under management and you need to deposit 1 billion.
No, 101. There is a max. There is a cap. So what I do know, for example, in the Netherlands, it's 100,000. That's the max you will get back.
100,000 you're gonna get back. Yeah.
If in case, so if you have 1 million on the bank, if you're gonna lose 900.
Yeah. So I'm talking about the percentage, not of the I'm talking about the percentage that the company would need to deposit at
100,000, yeah.
the
Okay.
bank for distribution. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how that goes.
Securities laws in Jamaica.
But I think banking laws and financial laws are pretty similar. Yeah, I think so. So shouldn't differ that much.
Still heartbreaking, man. You for now the debate where you're at is basically you're thinking, what's the next move? These things bring people to the edge and push them over sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, George has some theories. And let's see what.
And before we continue, KR, I really like their show. This is the first time I'm watching it, but the chemistry, the way they're presenting it, is pretty entertaining. So not like let's say boring news. I really like the way they're informing the public.
Not to sound
Well,
about it.
if you have to start your sentence like that,
No, because people might interpret this wrong, but it has a Caribbean flow with it.
yeah. Well, we understand it. Yeah, we understand it, right? Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I like it as well. You're definitely right on that. They have great chemistry and George is very passionate.
Passionate, yeah. You can see. I mean, it's either that or he plays a good role, but I think that you can see that he likes his job.
Yeah. So let's continue with the theory, and maybe I guess this is your part, RJ, because he's gonna talk about the defense of Jinan.
Okay.
With regards to this.
In December last year, and he left Bolt's employ. So here's where I'm going with this. I'm saying the fact that Miss Panton did not name Bolt in this statement as being one of her victims could be, Mariah, that she's saving that as her trump card, because with all of what she's done, defrauding 39 customers, clearly the book will be thrown at her by the court when she moves through, the process goes through the investigation, she's charged, and she goes to court. To say, or even before it gets there, to plead, to say, look, I didn't rob Bolt, but I know who did. So if you're going to give me 24 months, or 24, if you're going to give me 12 years, 15 years for this fraud, maybe you want to know about who defrauded the legend so badly that you will want to give me a significant discount if I tell you who did it and if I tell you how they did it. And the reason I put in how they did it in it is because in her statement, she detailed how she robbed the individual clients. So she knows the process more than you know the back of your hand, because I don't think you spend a lot of time looking at the back of your hand, only when you're lotioning, right? Or you're washing your hands. There you go. But the point I'm making is this, Mariah. I'm telling you, I think I'm onto something here. She is holding that information sacrosanct for the moment. And the moment that they move to the point where charges will be laid her attorney will say, well, gentle people, I'm sure you all want to know how Mr. Bolt's money went. My client didn't take it, but she knows who did and she knows how they did. Are you willing to negotiate with us? That's my theory.
What do you think about this theory, RJ?
There's definitely something there. There's definitely something there. And it's good to, if it's good to, well, I don't know if good is the right word, but I do think that it's important to make sure that you use your trump card at the right time. So it might be true that she knows, so she has the information and she would use it. That would be actually very smart. But they are probably not going to give her 24 months, for example. So lower it drastically immediately. So they would try to, it's a game, you know, instead of 12, we're going to make it 10. Okay, we'll give you 9. Okay, we'll give you, you know, something like that. However, if they find out who did it and how this person did it without her assistance, she'll get everything. Or at least they'll go for the max. So it's a game. It's a gambit. Usually more things play a role. But yeah, there might be a chance that the cops or the authorities will find out how it was done and who did it and how this person did it without
Her assistance.
Yeah. So yeah, but it's a game.
Maybe they were using QuickBooks as well.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Maybe yeah. Maybe
It
no.
seems like a reoccurring theme. If this is, if it's so easy to move people's money around, guys, what are we talking about? FTX was doing the same thing.
No. So what I can tell you is that you would think that the problems a startup faces is different than, for example, a corporate company, but that's not the case. Companies face the same type of trouble, no matter how big or small. The only difference is it's most of the times the main difference is lies in the consequences, so the monetary consequences. But all companies face the same type of challenges, and processes is something. So the management of processes is very important. A lot of companies do not have that under control. There are a lot of things going on, and they're oftentimes more focused on the day-to-day. They do have a compliance officer, but and this is also, so the compliance officer is the one that is in charge. Basically, the compliance officer's task is to make sure that the company is not acting in a way that would harm it in the future, not acting reckless.
Not being sketchy and reckless.
Yeah. But if you talk, I mean, go to a compliance officer's convention and throw a stone. The person it hits will tell you, do you think they listen to these compliance officers when they say, don't do that? Of course not.
Oh, Jesus.
I do agree with you on that. Well, not on the I do agree on the part of processes. I think probably with smaller companies. So if you don't, part of those processes are also the authorizations. I think that's one thing that will keep people from in the system, right? Authorization in the system. Some people can go to certain parts of whatever accounting system you're using, or CRM. That could that You're shaking your head. You
I'm,
disagree?
li- I'm listening. I'm listening.
Oh, okay. So that covers partially the that covers partially the possibility of fraud. So that I mean, if people want to defraud, they will find a way, but it limits it. Let's put it this way. By basically authorizing, some people cannot do certain things without approval from and in the system. So it's not approval, verbal approval, but within the system, you cannot press certain buttons and make certain things happen.
Yeah. But if you look at it, often, I mean, it sounds like I understand what you're saying, but it depends on who is the one.
Defrauded.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
because
is
you
true.
need it's sometimes you need just two people. If you have two people, sometimes two people you can do a lot. So it's not, you understand what I mean? So
That is true.
uh,
That is
and,
true.
and I mean, we've covered a couple of financial fraud cases. If the manager is fraudulent or acting in a way that's not correct, not complying with the compliance rules, and you have a manager that helps the director, the financial director, do what shouldn't be done, then that director can say anything to the manager if he does something. And if the manager has subordinate, maybe they're friends or they used to be friends when they were both working at the same level before that manager became so that colleague became a manager, they can easily um, move money. So it's not that. So you need systems in place to make it. You need systems in place and processes, and let's say the right technology, the right software to limit fraudulent acts, but it's almost impossible to actually prevent it completely.
Guys, let us know in the comments what you think about, or the chat, what you think about this, how this could happen, and how you can cover this as best as you can. It's hard. I mean, you if you hire the wrong person that has the tendency to be fraudulent, you're already 1-0 behind. They'll try to find the loopholes in your system and basically exploit them.
Yeah.
That's probably what happened here. So basically, all this happened, and while Usain's attorneys are sending threats, basically threats, let's put it that way, alleged threats, to the managing team, managing directors of SSL, Usain is expressing himself on social media. Both on Instagram and Twitter. Usain tweeted when this first came out the following: in a world full of lies, where is the truth? The history evil, what is the root? Money.
I don't know what you think you're doing, but you're not doing it. I don't know how you think you're sounding in your head, but I,
Amen.
I think What you think you're saying, you're not saying. The way you think you're sounding is not the way that you're actually sounding.
Anyway, well, it was. I was trying, guys. You gotta try sometimes, right?
And sometimes you don't. Sometimes.
Not live during a show. Maybe you're right. Anyway, he tweeted the same thing. But not only that, so he tweeted this on the 16th of January. Then he also tweeted the same caption with the audio attached to it. We cannot play it because it's a song. We don't want to get copyrights.
If you tell me which one it is, I might.
I have no idea. I'm not aware of. I'm not really into Jamaican rappers or whatever it was.
Oh, I thought it was a. Okay, so it's a Jamaican song.
It's a snippet of 5 seconds. So
Okay.
sounds
But
like
not like a US pop song is what I mean.
no, it's not a. It's not
Fine.
a. I'm happy. No,
Okay.
it's not.
I don't know
So,
that.
so on the 18th, he also tweeted yet again. A time to keep. ... And a time to speak. A time of war. And a time of. You don't want to know what went through my head. It rhymes with war, but it rhymes with speak. By the way, what just went through my head, but maybe it's the rapper in me.
But is this also a quote or is it just?
I have no idea.
Okay.
But he's
Guys,
right.
in the chat, if you know, please let us know.
Yes, please let us know. I'm not sure if this is a quote. Let's see. Someone is saying in the below here, dollar is the
What dollar? The dollar, is the mark of the beast.
yeah, brinksmanship.
What about euro?
Yeah, I guess only dollar. The other ones are cool. Every cent, not a dollar less, fee return. See why crime and violence can donna Jamaica. Just and not say.
Can you please tell us what that means?
I have no idea. Please don't ask me. You know how good I am in this stuff.
Well, you're the one. You're the one seeing it.
I'm seeing it. That doesn't mean I know what I'm seeing.
Okay. You're like Joe Biden.
I wanted to say something else, but this is a kid-friendly show, so I cannot say what just went through my head relating to someone seeing something, they not knowing what to do with it. Let's continue. On the 19th, deafening silence. The man is ready for war. And then today, he posts earned, not given. He earned this money by putting all the time as an Olympian, working hard so he can be the best of his peers, probably one of the best of all times. Who knows how long certain of his records will stand? And now people want to enjoy your fruits of the labor.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad.
Yeah. Yes. What I just talked about, making sacrifice to get somewhere. You mentioned the sacrifice that he had to make in his life to become a pro athlete, to become a champion, to maintain that level of athleticism and skill for the time he did to earn his money. You know how many times he had to say no to things that maybe he would have wanted to do? He would have wanted to go out, would have wanted to drink, would have wanted to do, the amount of times he had to limit himself, the sacrifices he made just so someone can come and rob him I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine how that would how that feels.
Yeah.
And that's why if you hear, because I'm aware of, that NFL players and NBA players who get broke, they go broke 3-4 years after they retire.
It
Now,
happens, yeah.
now you're seeing more and more shows by former NBA players, by former NFL players talking about their experience, sharing their experience, giving tips on how to actually manage their money in a way that's more sustainable. But you can never be sure with things like that, because there comes a point where you're so busy that you need to be able to delegate. You need to transfer. You need to be able to trust someone with a part of the management of your money. And in this case, both, if we from what we understand, from what we just heard from uh, George, was someone, he invested in one of the most reputable investment companies.
Believe that.
So it's not like he gave it to his uncle or his cousin who had a great once in a lifetime deal. So that was probably one of the most conservative moves he made, actually. It's probably one of the most conservative investment moves he made. It's like, okay, so we need to balance the portfolio. There needs to be a balance between high risk, high reward investments and more low risk, low reward investment. That was probably on the low side.
And on the island you were born,
And on the island you were born. Yeah.
trying to stimulate the economy, help them to hire more people, try to trust your fellow citizen. Because I think you could have easily put it as well in America
Or any place for that
or
matter.
any place else. Yeah.
Dubai would have welcomed it with two hands, open arms. Perfect. Now we have change money.
Money, 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 money.
Yeah. But
But yeah,
it's a shame. It really, and I think that he's still going through the motions, through the emotions, and Usain, all the best to you. Really, we are really rooting for you.
and the rest of the people as well.
Yeah, the rest of the people as well, but their faces aren't on our thumbnail, are they?
That is true, but we're rooting for everyone to get their
Of
money.
course, we're rooting for everyone, but
Yeah. You gotta be
you're
inclusive.
entering into some so why would you do this, man? So okay, please tell me the names of the rest so we can shout them out in person. Go ahead.
Letitia, first of all,
Okay.
you open the door. Don't let me walk through it.
That's okay.
Okay, but anyway, continue.
Yeah, but
I do agree with you, man.
you have to
all
use
the
it as well as the other people as well. You're right. Yeah, it's a tough situation to be in, but I guess wherever you have money, you have thieves.
That's a bar.
That's a bar.
And wherever you have money, you have thieves, guys. Write that one down. And write this also down. Maybe where there are thieves in this day and age, we need to reintroduce new things or old things, reintroduce old things. So people stop thieving. For each cent they take,
Yo, I was just about to ask you if you're going Old Testament with this.
Maybe we need to reintroduce this because this is happening way too often.
Yeah, way too often.
Way too often. I know for sure if you reintroduce, it will lower a bit. It will make people think twice.
Kier, do you think blockchain will help this? This help lower the
Well, if you can follow your account and how it moves, yes. But the blockchain has to be open.
yeah.
People should be able to see it. Because otherwise,
If you don't have access to it, to
you don't
the,
have access. It's the same thing.
yeah, that's true.
It's the same thing. So
Hey, let's hope Elon Musk can take over that as well.
in the meantime,
Yeah, man.
guys, anything else to add to this?
I think we covered enough. Of course, we'll keep following the story because it's certainly not the end. And if there's anything remarkable to talk about, we'll definitely touch upon it in a later show.
Okay. Guys, let us know in the comments if you have any questions or remarks. Until then, we close this one.
Hey guys, thanks for everyone who's watching the live show, and of course everyone checking out the rebroadcast as well. Please remember to like and share the video, but more importantly, remember to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Your subscription really helps us. It really helps push our videos and the higher. It helps us get noticed by the algorithm. Remember as well to follow us on our social media pages, more specifically our Facebook and Instagram pages. There are things cooking. We have some things cooking for you guys. As you guys know, the developments are still coming. We're building it as we fly, getting some often feedback from you guys. Truly appreciated.
Thank you.
To all people who just come here to comment and say nonsense things. We love you as well. Thank you for the engagement. It also helps us with the algorithm. And yeah, man, keep supporting us. We truly appreciate it. And we will definitely, keep improving, keep trying to give you more value. Thanks, guys.
You didn't go down like that, huh? He got cooked.
We're cooking over here, baby. Yes, sir. Let's continue. We are here at chapter 2, which we already announced. Chapter 2 is about our great rapper from Flo Rida.
Shawty got some apple bottom jeans.
That's the first song that always, if you say Flo Rida, apple bottoms jeans.
Yeah.
I don't know what an apple bottom jeans is. I've never seen one. I've never seen
You don't
one
know what
before.
You can't imagine what a boot with a fur is.
That I can imagine. I've never seen I've seen a booty shorts before, but never seen an apple bottom jeans. But
Yeah.
guys, Flo Rida, famous rapper from Florida. Very, very creative with the name. He was basically quite popular in the beginning of the 2010, 2008.
Something like that, yeah.
Around that time, he was really out there. He was making money hand over fist. And because of his popularity, he thought, and also I've watched a couple of minutes of his trial because you can see you can see multiple recordings of the live recordings of that of his trial, and he was basically saying he was inspired by likes of 50 Cent with the vitamin water. to start branching out, trying to endorse some drinks, not for money, but for equity.
Mm.
So what better place to start than at your own home, in your home state?
KR, that seems to be the trending the trending team. You try to give back, you try to support your home state, your home country.
That's another thing. Yes, that is true in this show. Both of them try to support their own. And both of them got by the
God,
run.
God. Yeah. Both Flo Rida and Usain Bolt.
Basically, Celsius offered him a contract where they had certain stipulations on it. And he would get shares as much of up to 1% based on contractual or performances, company performances based on these endorsements. He signed that contract. He was a big ambassador between 2014 and 2018. And then his contract expired. In the meanwhile, Flo Rida didn't, between 2014 and 2018, didn't have pretty good view with, didn't had a good insight into the numbers. So basically, Celsius thought, we on the race. We
We
left.
gone. We
We
gone.
But
I think
2020
this
hit.
belongs to me.
It belongs to me, yeah. No more shares. But 2020 hit. It was a slow time. And we're going to talk about this. We're going to hear it from Flo Rida's own mouth. He started reviewing all his businesses, all his endorsements. And then a sparkle. He basically told Celsius,
Why are you running? Why are you running?
come back here.
Yeah.
That led to the lawsuit where he got paid an amount of 82 million.
Is that a Broncos jersey, also?
He has a Broncos jersey on, but he's not a Bronconeer.
Is that a thing?
No, that's not a thing, but Russell, that's before Russell. Hey, these entertainers, guys, they will wear whatever shirt that you gave them, as long as you pay.
Yeah.
How many times? How many jersey switches did we saw Drake do before he landed at the Raptors? Or Snoop Dogg? Or Lil Wayne? Anyway, whoever is hot, they will join. As long as you pay and they can sing their songs and go home after. So let's see. We have a couple of clips relating to what happened. Let's start with the announcement.
Rapper Flo Rida is suing a well-known energy drink company based in Boca Raton. Flo Rida, whose real name is Tramar Dillard, taking his case to court today, filing a civil suit in Broward County against the company that markets Celsius. He claims that Celsius owes him millions of dollars in bonuses, stocks, incentives, and royalty payments. Flo Rida's lawyer says the entertainer played an essential role in helping Celsius launch its brand 9 years ago, that the company failed to uphold its terms of the contract.
It was basically a very vague contract. They were talking about units. If he would sell certain amount of units, he would get rewarded with shares and units of a specific product. But it was not detailed what units were. Is unit a case? A single can? Who knows? There were also no end date, no specific end date referenced in the contract. RJ, what kind of contract is that?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm confused actually because, or was it? So I read somewhere, and I don't know if you mentioned it, but it was as part of the deal. He got 1% of a 1% stake in the company. Are you saying the compensation with regards to unit was, let's say, a separate agreement?
No, it's part of that.
But it's not part of the 1% though, right?
He would have gotten percentages. Every percentage, every target he would hit, he would get shares, and that would amount to 1%.
Oh, so it's
At
a
that
type of
time,
a vesting type of structure.
kind of a performance vesting, basically.
Yeah.
It's more performance though. It's not vesting.
And what was your question then?
What kind of contract is that? Not not that part. I mean the vague part, where they don't specify anything. No time, not what units are.
That's a that's a startup contract. That's probably a guy who went on. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know what it is, but sometimes in contract you want to keep things vague. So sometimes you want to be as clear as possible, and sometimes you want to keep things vague, so that if a problem arises, you would then go talk and settle. I'll just give an example. If no, let me not give an example. Just talk about a strategy that companies use. So larger companies or companies in general, it's not uncommon for them to use litigation, so court proceedings, as part of a strategy, a business strategy. So what they would do is they would perform, let's say, 80 to 90%, and then they would start a beef over something, and then say, okay, then we need to negotiate and pay, for example, 5% or 4% instead of the less 10%. So it could have been that, but I haven't seen the contract myself to see exactly what was agreed upon. What I do know is that if I'm the lawyer of the company, then I would want to make sure. So this is the my logic, my way of reasoning. I want to make sure that my client, that is the company, gets the most out of the deal. And more specifically, I want to make sure that the other party doesn't get compensated without performance, right? So for that reason, I don't see why you would choose for a vague contract in a situation like that. It was in cases like these, in situations like these, partnerships like these, where it's more important to say, well, if you reach this, and then you have to describe what this is, of course. So you need to have at the start of the contract. You can have it at the start of the contract or in the contract. You need to define what it is. So if you reach A, and then you define what A is and how A is measured, then you would get this. If you don't have it, then you have a interpretation dispute. And the judge will look at both parties. And the judge will say, yeah, but party A would say, no, you should interpret it this way. The judge would say, yeah, but the way it's written, made party B interpret it in a different way. And I can see that it's a legit interpretation. And party B would say, yeah, but it's not like you should interpret it like this. And the judge will repeat the same thing to party B. Yeah, but party B, it's written like this. And the way party A interpreted it, is different. And I can see why party A interpreted like that. And so in that case, you would look at the judge would need to find so using logic, because some people think the judges can just decide for themselves. No, they need to motivate their decision. So the judge would need to look at the contracts, look at what parties say was the intention at the beginning of the contract, because that also plays a role. What party's intention was. So maybe the intention, if it's it's clear that Flo Rida was there to help the company because the company was not that popular. The company wasn't popping like that, and Flo Rida basically came in and made it. So that's the reason why they entered into the partnership with Flo Rida, but they couldn't pay Flo Rida, so they entered into a different deal. Things like these. It's like information like these that will lead the judge to an interpretation of what the intention of the parties were at the beginning, and that will definitely help the judge reach a certain conclusion. It's not like the judge will say, "Yeah, I don't like your face, so you're gonna lose this."
Yeah, that's basically how they describe the process. So they had to first, before they went to the jury, they had to stipulate what is in the contract. That's also one thing that they talked about in certain articles and also in the interviews. So basically, the judge, like you said, and so you're on point there. The judge had to read the contract and try to see.
I'm on point there.
Yeah, I think this one is better.
Perfect.
They had to make an agreement. Okay, this is what this means. In order to go to the jury, in order for them to understand what it says, and then basically come to a verdict.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the jury would have maybe interpreted their own way. And
Yeah.
that might be even worse, because most people cannot read legal language, right?
Yeah.
Well, rappers cannot read, at least. That's what I heard. Give them
Well,
a contract and you might become rich.
well, I think the modern day athletes and rappers, and I mean, let me put it like this: if it happened in
You never know.
there are a lot of people. You have a lot of examples of people who suffered because they didn't know. Basically, they didn't know. But if in 2023 you're still entering into contracts that don't benefit you, then
Well, 2023. What about 2020?
2020, 2015, 2016. No.
Yo, there is. Maybe we can do a case about that.
Yeah,
It's an
maybe.
old story. It's an old
Yeah.
story, but
Yeah, I'd like to-
Flavio
yeah, finish
signed to Mace.
Yeah. Well, I saw that Mace, I think it was Mace, right? That Mace owes Diddy 3 million, something like that.
Well,
Because-
he's still. Oh, well, Diddy said that he does that. He's a billionaire. He's like,
give the money.
this
Yeah.
guy ain't got. They ain't got it. Ain't got it.
Is Mace the one? Is Mace the one that became a pastor, or was it the
Yeah.
other one?
Mace. No, I almost said his. Oh man!
Thank
I
God you
almost
did it.
said his rap name.
Thank God.
I don't like that kind of talk.
We don't talk like that here, man. But thank God you did it, man. Thank
Oh
God.
man, it's natural. This is Mace.
Breathe, stretch, shake. Let it go.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome. I know you like that.
Or was the other rapper? There was
Who?
another rapper also
You
signed.
see already. You search Let me zoom in. You search you search Mace and look who's on top.
Fabio. Fabio.
Yo, Google is heartless. What as you can see, wait a second. This is what I almost said. Can you read it?
Uh, yeah. Wait, where are you?
Formerly known as here.
Yeah. I thought so. I knew that was. I heard it first.
Anyway, guys, let's continue.
Let's continue.
I think it's clear that that the contract was kind of probably put together by a junior associate.
Well, even if it was, the contract had to go to a senior first. Maybe even when a junior. So, and if it was established by a law firm, then they would need to, and junior did it. Most law firm work with at least a 4i review, so a manager or a superior would need to control it. So that's no excuse. It's no excuse. That's why I think that it's either a complete lack of diligence, or it was purposely done like that. Formulated. The contract was purposely formulated like that for a particular reason. But I don't know. I haven't read the contract myself, so.
Okay, let's see. Basically, Flo is going to explain on Squawk how it all started.
Tell us how this relationship came about and what's now at stake.
Well, this started back in 2014. I was asked to be the brand ambassador for Celsius. I mean, this was a young company out of the state of Flo Rida. And, myself, I thrive on health. Since being in ninth grade, all I did was, love fitness, knowing that health is really wealth. So I was in this thing for the long haul. And basically, when it came down to getting compensated, it was a time during the pandemic where I got a chance to really sit back and check out all my business. And this one in particular, I checked it out. They were telling me that, one of the products that I was endorsing wasn't selling. And then I got a chance to really look at it, and I was doing more than well. So, I mean, basically, they approached me. I was out doing a fitness DVD out in LA, and the product, represented what I represent, healthy lifestyle. And this was basically like the only one. So I was like, I think I could do something with this, because everything that I ever touched, being, when it comes down to music, I was the first to introduce the.
Everything he touches turns into gold. That's what he says. He might have been right. Around that time, everything he was putting out was getting at least in the top 100 charts, or at least a lot of things he was putting out.
What year did you say? 2010, right? You said.
Yes,
I
think.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah.
He had you spin my head right round. Remember that one? I don't know.
Yeah. I just put my head as well.
That was popping.
Let me not press on those.
Yeah.
Apple bottom jeans.
No, it's low. It's called low.
Oh, I don't know, dude. What the heck? Low Flo Rida.
Shawty got bottom jeans.
2007 even. Jeez.
2007.
It goes even further back.
Yeah.
Jesus. But his popularity went on for a very long time. And the thing with Flo Rida is that he separated himself from others. So where you have a lot of rappers a lot of times choose to go, as they call it, they go into the Red Sea. He chose to basically go in the
Blue Ocean.
Blue Ocean.
Yeah. But as regard, so relating to what?
the lane he chose. So
The,
basically,
the genre of rap.
yeah, the type of music he was making. He was making pure club music,
party music. Yeah.
party music. He wasn't making anything else. No shoot 'em up kind of stuff. He was
The American Pitbull.
well. What was going to say something else, but Pitbull is also American, guys. Don't get it twisted.
I mean, yeah, okay.
The black Pitbull. That's what.
The black people. Were you going for Pitbull as well, though?
Yeah, Pitbull.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's
yeah.
basically the same. So that's a good assessment.
Yeah, Pitbull is Puerto Rican, right?
Cubano, oh no.
Cubano? Is he Cubano?
I don't know.
But he also does a lot of basically only club music, right?
Cubano, way. What? Why did I do that? Yeah, he's Cuban. He's Cuban. Guay is Mexican, but
yeah, I didn't get that one.
I talked to too many Mexicans. But anyway, so basically
you like your Mexican music as well.
yes, le corridos.
Yeah.
But we're not talking about Mexicans today. Another day.
Okay.
Beep, 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 beep. Oh man, that meme would have been so. That sound would have been so good. I'm gonna play it to you after the show.
Right.
Probably going to say to me, "Don't play it ever in this show." But so basically, those guys were in that time. They were basically the ones who were making club music. You had Pitbull on one side and Flo Rida, and they were very popular for a long time.
Yeah.
And they were starting careers, as he said. He was starting careers.
Yeah. And actually, Pitbull was also something with Miami, I think.
He's also from Miami, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I wonder one thing though, because I've heard songs of Pitbull before he went club.
Uh-huh.
I've never looked up the very, 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 very old songs of Flo Rida. Or before he had the name Flo Rida. Maybe he changed up his name as well. I would want to hear that, because a lot of times what people don't realize is before rappers choose their let's say the segmentation in business terms or their lane, they try a different stuff out, and goes with every rapper, and you can hear them trying out on and that's also for singers as well. They try out on let's say typical underground beats, rapping backpack, and then something sticks, and you're like, this sounds, and then before you know it, you're a millionaire like Flo Rida. Anyway, let's continue with the second clip where he's going to explain the case.
So it looks like from the complaint that you've made that they were supposed to issue you bonus compensation once the company achieved a specific dollar amount in terms of the gross cumulative on the co-branded stuff. When did that happen, and how much are you seeking at this point?
As you guys can see, it all started with 30K. RJ, hindsight is 2020.
Right.
Hindsight is always 2020. Would you have given this guy 2 million and tell him get away?
Definitely. In this case, hindsight is 82 million. In this case, hindsight is 82 million.
That's a costly battle right here.
$30,000.
That's what he was seeking initially when 2021, when this all started. And he got 82 million. Let's continue.
That's an investment. Hell of an investment.
Hey, man. He had to wait a couple of years for it. But guys, if you want to endorse us, feel free to contact us via DMs, and we will send you the email where you can, or our social media DMs, and we'll make sure you have a worthy partner. Let's continue.
Let's continue.
Am I right? It's man, I was once told, just joining the company and, seeing, how my success was, and then taking the product that, can be very disruptive, that, this would be a product that could possibly make me a billionaire, because this product, has done, over tens and tens of millions of dollars since I joined the company. I'm talking about the likes of Doja Cat. She's doing interviews. You catch her saying, "This is Flo's drink." You catch Khloe Kardashian saying, "Flo, I like that drink that you're drinking, and I always knew that you represented a healthy lifestyle. I want to test the drink out." So sent her some cases.
Right.
She promoted this thing for free. I'm talking about, I'm an international star, so I'm the reason why you see this product in Dubai. I'm the reason why you see this product in Asia. I'm the reason why you see this product in 7-Eleven. There's people that came to my shows and seen me performing off my performance alone. They seen the passion and believed in, if Flo's going to touch something, I see that he's going to go all the way with this. So, I mean,
Right.
the evidence is there.
Hey,
And
John,
if you want,
I mean, what else can be said here? He's passionate about the brand.
Yeah.
Very passionate.
It's like I heard Snoop Dogg said it. I don't know if it's his quote or somebody else's. What's understood ain't got to be said. It's
That
clear.
is true. But please put it correctly in the contract.
What's understood need to be what's understood need to be put in a contract. That should be the quote.
What was the quote again? Can you repeat it?
I think it was it's what's understood ain't gotta be explained.
Ah,
What's
and then you
understood
put it. Please write it down in the contract after.
what's understood ain't gotta be explained.
Dot, 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 dot.
But be damn sure to put it in a contract.
Hey, we need to clip that one down. That's something for a shirt, man.
That's something for a shirt. Yeah, we need to. But
But
are you updating the list for things to put on a shirt? Because I think in every show we have like 2 or 3 quotes that we can put on a shirt.
That's fine. Well, the thing is, I don't have the time to write everything down because the show is going so fast. I have 2 hands. I want to say something. I have 2 hands, so I cannot do all the things simultaneously. Running the show, running the clips, and also writing down everything. So I hope you can assist with that. But if
Well-
not, we can find a student who wants to assist us. Please send your resume. Don't have it be like George Carlos' resume, because I will look into it and tell you, please don't try to do us like the GOP.
Well, we can I think a personal assistant, but that's a personal assistant. There was a whole uproar because Glorilla, I think that's what her name is, was looking for an assistant, and she put it on social saying that the assistant would earn $550 per week. And people were like, whoa, that's too little, it's abuse. And she was like, yeah, but she'll be with me the whole time. She'll be flying for free, staying in hotels for free. So it's not really. And she also said a bunch of things we put on the requirement list. She ain't even got to do. We just put it there just in case. So it's nothing. Well, in our case, in our particular case, On the Double Touch Show, everything we put on the list would need to be done and more.
And it will be in the contract.
And the contract for sure.
Flo Rida, you said, is she the radioactive sister of Flo Rida?
I don't know who she is actually.
Anyway, I'm just kidding. Ah, man, the George Santos joke was pretty good. So,
Put that on a t-shirt as well.
no. Don't want to put that on a
It's
t-shirt.
not t-shirt
He's
word.
gonna go to jail, so I'm not gonna. Well, allegedly, probably, maybe. Who
Most
knows?
likely. Almost certainly.
Anyway, let's
Move on.
move
Next.
on to the next part. So basically, like you said, he's been putting in time. He's been putting in time to get the brand going. While Celsius is basically telling the judge now that there is a statute of limitations and that the complaint had passed. Basically, the statute of limitation have passed. And that the claim was of a deal of 2018. And they also argued, and he's still talking very amicable about the company. He's still, I think, we're going to talk about that later. They also were basically saying that they reached their heights after the endorsement ended. New heights, let's put it this way. And that not Flo Rida, but their own decisions led to the rise of their stock value. So let's see if they have a point. Did Flo Rida had influence on Florida's Celsius? How can you move that below?
Oh,
Yes. So people can see. We're going to go to 2014 and 2014
when did the contract start?
to 18.
Okay.
14 to 18. So at 14, by the way, let me go back. Let me zoom out a little bit. As you can see, around 2020, they have definitely reached
New heights.
new heights. So there he didn't have influence.
Well, there's something to be said about that as well.
Residual. Could be residual, not gonna lie, but there they really popped off. So people started drinking Celsius like water during during Uncle Vit's time. Uncle Vit's visit to the mainstream. Let's put it this way.
Uncle Vit's reign.
Yeah, Uncle Vit's reign. Oh, that's another one. Anyway, so they definitely popped off during that time, and that led to their current $99.88 value, or at least it is what it is now. So let's go to the time 2014 till 2018. So what we can see here in 2000 by the way, this July 2014, this is where it started. So it's not exactly stipulated when it exactly started, but let's take, for example, around the time the 1st of January. It says here that the value of Celsius closed at 40 cents in January of 2014. at the end of 2018, it reached, and if I go to exactly the end, maybe we probably will never reach it, the exact end. The 30th of December 2018, it closed at $3.38.
So from 40 cents to $3.40.
Yeah, and in the meanwhile, it even reached almost 6.5 at its peak. 6.48 at its peak. So it really, during his time, if I go even before, if you look at before, they weren't doing anything. It was going downwards. They were, I would say, a company on its last leg. They weren't doing a lot. Look at this.
Yeah.
50 cents. They weren't making no money.
Mhm.
And then suddenly it boomed. So can we say that he had influence?
Yeah, I do think, of course. I think he had it. Yeah. So they would argue, of course, that there were other factors as well, right? Because we can see that in 2020, I think you said the company really popped off, but from what it was before Flo Rida got there and from what it was after the contract supposedly ended in 2018, you could definitely see a growth. Of course, you have, what's the saying? Correlation is not causation. So just because it correlate doesn't mean that it cost. So Flo Rida actually caused the growth. But if it's true what you said, that the contract was vague and the way of determining whether targets were achieved or not were vague, then it would mean bad news for Celsius.
Yeah. Hey, man, we have seen the power of endorsements with FTX. Let's not turn a blind eye. This man might have single-handedly pulled this company out of the gutter of Florida with all the alligators and the wicked people. Oh, they were. I'm just
Next.
Yeah.
you took
I don't like that kind of talk.
you took a U-turn right there, man.
I always take U-turns. That's the way the best to drive the car.
Yeah, well, can be argued, but yeah, the wicked. It is a wild place though, but wicked. Well, let's just say let's leave it at wicked. Just let us not reach possessed. If we can stay at wicked, then
Oh man. Let's continue.
let's continue,
It-
guys.
The last part where he basically talks about the following.
And if you want, you want some specific numbers on that?
Oh yeah, by the way, one thing they asked him at the end. I don't know if you guys notice it, but at the end of the clip, they ask him, "What's the specific amount? Do you have a specific amount?" And that was part of the question, and he kept his mouth shut. So he's a thinking ninja.
Yeah.
But then his lawyer, because he knows how to put it into words, tries to explain how it goes down.
How much money is at stake? And also, have they entertained settlement talks with you? I mean, what's the state of play here?
So look, you have to understand the company stock was $1 or less when Flo got involved. It was a local company. He's here in Miami. He was already an international icon. This is a small local company. He believes in this product. The stock is now on some days over $100, and there's 750,000 shares at stake. So there's a lot of money at stake in this, $75 million. And so the question is, were the benchmarks met? And you've got this, small local company that's now a $1 billion company. And, the evidence shows it's Flo Rida's was a critical part of that.
Hey, John,
you
from
don't
what I've read on this, it sounds like the contract had some ambiguities in it, that it was maybe not tightly written. Is that the case? And is that where you plan to really focus on this lawsuit?
Yeah, so the judge has already ruled that there's some ambiguities in the contract. Otherwise, the judge would have just decided this means this, and either the benchmark was met or not. But there are some things that we think are clear, and I suppose Celsius thinks is clear too. The people running the show now, because that's another thing. The people Flo worked with are gone. He trusted them; they were family in his mind. But a lot of those people are gone. So the people now, they think it's clear. So the judge says it's ambiguous, but what is a unit? You got to sell a certain amount of units. What is a unit? Some of the clauses don't have deadlines. So they say, well, there is a deadline, even though it doesn't say it. So those are the issues that the jury's going to have to decide, and we look forward to hearing what the jury says.
The imaginary finish line.
Yeah.
I can see it, but you cannot see it. So can you see it? Well, at the end, they
Just
ruled. Huh?
Yeah, I was about to say, it's just like the anecdote, the story about the king the king that no one dared to oppose. You know that one? No
I've
one
heard
dared,
that one. Yeah.
no one dared to oppose him, and he wanted the best of the best clothing. What do they call what they wear? I forgot.
Rope?
But rope, yeah. And so he hired the top rope maker in the country. The person came and she said, "Okay, king, I will dress you the best. Now, please, I need your finest rubies, your finest diamonds, your most expensive," and all those things. And basically,
Wait. I'm interjecting
okay,
because a joke is all about timing.
okay.
Good thing that meant it was happened back in the days and not now, because probably that guy could have interpreted this as he was asking for his daughters. Continue.
What the fuck?
You said ruby, diamond. What else did you say?
Could have been a pimp too, and he was asking for his strippers.
Hey,
But-
yeah, it sounds like a stripper names you were naming. But I was like, let me interject. Timing is everything. Continue.
Yeah, and then the king, at the end, at the first try, the first fitting, the lady put the robe, but she didn't actually put anything on the king, and the king said, "Oh, I'm not wearing anything," and the lady said, "No, this is a special kind of robe. Only the wisest and the smartest of them all can see it. You can see it, right, king?" And the king was like, "Yeah, I can see it. It's so beautiful." And then in the second fitting, the king called upon his wives and children, but they were all afraid of him. He was like, "My family, my closest friends, what do you think of my robe?" But again, he was wearing nothing. And they were all afraid of him. And they were like, "Yeah, it's beautiful, great, marvelous, fitting for a king." And it was only when he went he participated in a parade, the biggest festival of the year of that country, the most expensive and luxurious party. And he was on his chariot. Everyone was like, "Wow, so beautiful," because they were all afraid of the king until one innocent 5-year-old that was standing on the side said, "But mother, the king isn't wearing anything." And it was only then that the rest dared to say, "Oh, but yeah, you're right. He's not wearing anything." And the king realized, I just got caught. Similar here. There was no finish line, but everyone was like, yeah, this is the finish line. When we reach the aforementioned deadline, then the vesting will take place. The Flo Rida would get his money, and everyone was like, "Yeah, we should. Yeah, it's almost here. Yeah, hey, but we still have the deadline. Yeah, we just need to make sure that we reach the deadline." And apparently, there wasn't a deadline. So,
Amen. Read your contracts, kids. Read your contracts. You don't want to get got like this, man.
and if you don't know, ask. If
a
you
lot of
don't
times-
know, ask.
Yeah, if you don't know, ask. Try to understand yourself as well, because your lawyer might be setting you up as well. We had another show about that in the past, where your mentor is setting you up. Maybe your lawyer is setting you up. Maybe that should be the next show. Is your lawyer setting you up? I have a perfect example of that.
Yeah.
Yes. I have shows on top of shows, man. I have them all loaded. I can show you after the show. This is crazy. We're talking about a billionaire who was fleeced
By his lawyer.
by the lawyer. Yeah.
Nice.
It's crazy. Well,
Maybe something for our next show.
it's
Cool
like
in a sense. Cool.
it's
cool
like
in-
it's even less than probably 1%. So
okay. That's still.
trinkets, but still. Anyway, as you can see, after you are awarded 82 million, I think everyone would be happy. And Flo Rida is smiling ear to ear. Let's see what he has to say.
The verdict was announced. He says he has gained a, quote, new respect for the judicial system.
As opposed to the old respect.
Yo, oh man, I had to put that part in because I thought it's still, every time I hear it, it's funny. I gained no respect for the judicial system.
Yeah.
He's not even that kind of rapper, but I guess he gained some new respect. Let's see what he has to say.
This was a long journey, but we prevailed. From the start, I only wanted what I worked for. Nothing more, nothing less.
NBC News legal analyst Danny Saval.
Yeah, nothing more, nothing less. And he also said
It was pretty less. It was 30,000 what he asked for. It was pretty less. He only asked for 30,000, and they said no, and he ended up getting 82 million.
Yo, the lawyer the company lawyer, the in-house lawyer right now is probably standing on the edge. Oh, by the way, I have another clip I had to show you. Please remember me.
I'll remind you. I'll remind you.
Telling a someone to do something. But
should I remind you afterwards? After the show?
Afterwards, after the show.
The way you, So.
This is crazy, yo.
Okay, cool.
Guys,
we're trying to. It's gonna take a while. We want to reach our goals first. Our subscription goals first. At least 1,000 subscribers. Afterwards, we're going to open a Patreon where we'll be more free to
express
ourselves and maybe talk a little bit more reckless. But Until that time, we're trying to censor ourselves like Twitter did.
Good one. Flo Rida says he still drink. He will continue to drink the product. He will also continue to promote it in his own way, of course.
But he's still owner,
Because
right?
he also has shares he bought himself. So, hey, this is skin in the game. He bought his own share. Back then it was 50 cents.
Nothing but love, baby. It's just
Hey,
love.
it's all love, man. It's all love. So it's all good from now on. I mean, even before, he probably made a good penny out of those stocks.
Yeah.
If you're buying them at 40 cents and now they are at 100.
Yeah, but the question is whether or not Celsius will appeal. Is there any word out of that?
There's no word out yet, but they probably will. I wouldn't
If I mean, yeah.
if I was the if I was the in-house attorney, I would definitely.
The system is corrupt. Why did you lose? The system is corrupt.
Oh man. Hey yo. when they were counting, he probably sent the tweet, "Stop the count." He said, "Stop the count."
Yo, yeah.
He saw the jury say yes to the 82. Yes. And at a certain point, he was like, "Stop the count. Guys, please. I want my job."
Stop the count.
Oh, man.
Maybe you're right, man. Maybe you're right.
Stop the count.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Hey, after all this happened, of course, you got the reactions. By the way, like I said, during this testimony, he said that 50 Cent was one of the guys who inspired him to to go with these deals.
Yeah, I read.
Basically asking for, can I zoom in? Yes. 50 also responded to this. Flo is a good dude. Celsius was wrong and they are going to have to pay now. I was only drinking it because Flo was involved. Money by Monday.
Yeah.
One thing, and he also responded, "Love you, my brother. Always appreciated and a true inspiration to this situation. In a way, you have accomplished your ventures." Hey, man. What you will see is that I lost my train of thought. Anyway, let's continue with other reactions. On Flo Rida, he was basically posting quotes. I don't know what kind of quotes this is. Oh, that's Isaiah. Oh, that's the Bible. I'm just seeing it now.
Isaiah.
Huh?
Is that Isaiah?
Isaiah, yeah. What did I say?
Isaiah. I thought you were talking about Style Bender.
It's Isaiah is the sister of Isaiah, but you guys didn't know that.
You know, let's leave the alphabet talk for another show.
It's not alphabet. What are you talking about?
Isaiah.
Yeah, it's the brother. Anyway, instead of your shame, there shall be a double portion. Instead of dishonor, they shall rejoice in their lot. Therefore, in their land, they shall possess a double portion, and they shall have everlasting joy. Well,
Yeah.
Joy he had.
Yeah, and the scripture it needs to be updated because in his case, it got more than double.
He also shared kind of a wrap up pictures he took during the trial.
Happy for him, man.
Look at him, the bring stock. This is a good one. I don't know whether they asked the bring stock to they ordered it specially.
But usually,
Yo, that would be really be something really cocky. Just you order it to stand there just in case you win and you can take the whoever, if that is true, we have to find out if that's how they did it. They just ordered a truck that looks like a Brinks truck or
it is a Brinks.
Park it there just in case they won. So you can take the PR picture. Genius. With all that being said, everyone happy. RJ, do you think that Flo Rida's likeness has played a role in how this ended?
I don't know. It's difficult to say, but I can't imagine it really did, to be honest. I think if you look at rappers in general when they're in court, especially rappers that rap negative things, they would have a more difficult time because people already have a negative perception of him. I don't necessarily think that in Flo Rida's case he had a
stigma to him.
Even if so, I don't necessarily think that people wanted him to win more than the others, but at least he didn't start the game. I'll use NFL terms, 14-0 down. It's like at least it was 0-0 at the start. So that was definitely that definitely helped. And yeah, that's what I believe. Then again, majority of other cases involving rappers are criminal cases, not necessarily civil law cases.
By the way, I think you mean 28-3 down, right?
Why 28-3? Oh,
Hey, I need to remind my Atlanta people how we get down over here.
28-3. Yo.
Guys, just Google 28-3 and you know what team I support in the NFL. Anyway, so basically you would say it hasn't played any part in this case, probably hasn't played any part, his likeness. I mean, everyone, there's no one who, there is no story you think about him being a foul dude. So that helped out. No, maybe that doesn't help, as you say. You're the lawyer of us, but
I say usually, sometimes people, I don't know, like for example, in the Johnny Depp case, so people really rooted for Johnny Depp. You really want him to be innocent. In the Michael Jackson cases, there were people rooting for him to be, they were convinced that he didn't do anything wrong. But I don't think in his case that was really an issue. But then again, most cases are like, so in his case, it was a civil law case, contractual dispute. It's of a different nature as opposed to a criminal law case. The stigma is different. It's a completely different case. So I think it was but he didn't do anything to make it more dislikable. Like for example, if Kanye and Balenciaga would go to court right now, then you would have people really rooting for Kanye because,
well, I don't know about that.
There are still people rooting for Kanye, and there are people who really want to see Kanye go down. But I don't think in his case He's a likable guy, you know. So, and then again, I'm talking
Let's
about
stop
Flo
here.
Rida being
Let's
likable.
stop here.
I'm talking about Flo Rida being likable.
Okay, you're clear. You're the lawyer here, and you're
Talking
out
about-
here dancing on thin ice, my dude.
No, but let's
you
be
mean
honest.
Flo Rida is a likable guy.
Yeah, Flo Rida is a likable guy, and I'm just saying that Kanye has his followers, so some people will still follow him. I don't know if Flo Rida really had
Doesn't have core. He
you know,
doesn't have he doesn't-
followers, but
Yes.
he's likable. He has great music, but I think that's it.
And he has a great new artist, but we're not gonna talk about her. With that being said, anything else you want to add?
No, I think we covered it. I mean, I think it's wise for Celsius, so they can appeal. Maybe they will appeal, but maybe it's wise to not appeal. Just pay the man his due, because it's also been said, or it also was brought to light that they apparently they weren't that open with Flo Rida either.
Yeah.
So to preserve your reputation, Flo Rida is still drinking your drink. Maybe it's just what was your random thought of the day? You know, at the beginning, take your
the
L.
L and keep it pushing.
Take the L. Yeah, take the L and keep. Yo, you had it. You had it on standby.
Well, I had it already done because I was already thinking that was going to be what I'm going to say after you were going to say.
Yeah,
That's
but
why.
yeah, take the L and keep it pushing. And I think it's the best thing for them to do, for Celsius to do. You still have a willing partner, a partner willing to keep promoting your drinks.
Yes, and a new deal.
Yeah, so it's all love, baby. It's all love, baby.
It's all love. It's all love. It's all love. With that being said, we close this with love.
That closing doesn't sound like love at all. Sounds like more of a
well.
Sorry.
They go up. Oh man.
Sounds more like a stalking scene. Hey guys, thanks. Thank you everyone that's watching the show. Please like the video if you haven't done so already. Let us know in the chat what you think. Remember to, more importantly, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. This is our 5th month. Is this our 5th month? I think
we're gonna hit our 5th month.
Yeah, it's gonna be. So we're almost there. Putting a lot of time and effort in the shows.
This is our 5th month. We're gonna
building it as we fly, and we really appreciate the feedback we've been getting. We really like the support as well. We really appreciate it. So to everyone who's still watching us live, and of course those watching the rebroadcast, thank you. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel.
For everyone who's been watching, thank you for watching, and also please, like RJ said, leave comments in the comment section. RJ, can you share with us the conclusion of today?
Yeah, so just start with a quick recap first. We talked firstly about the Usain Bolt situation, where we saw that the Usain Bolt invested 12 million of his money in an investment in a reputable investment company in Jamaica, and to his surprise, he found out that of the 12 $12.7 million he had invested. There's only 12,000 left. Probably the person responsible for stealing the money thought, maybe Usain Bolt wouldn't notice the zeros missing. Maybe he just looks at the 12. But this is an ongoing matter. We'll keep following the story. And if there are any interesting developments, we will definitely maybe dedicate the segment in a future show to it. After that, we talked about the Flo Rida case, where we saw how Flo Rida invested in a company that he thought from the beginning, that had a lot of potential. The company was worth 40 a share, so was worth 40 cents when he got in and started working with the company. When he left, the share was worth more or less $3. One share was worth more or less $3.50, and the value has gone up dramatically. It's up to $1 million, $100 per share right now. You were talking about $1 billion company.
Yeah.
So what can we learn from the Usain Bolt story? We can learn that he did everything quote unquote right. He worked hard for this money. Usain Bolt basically, I think he's worth how much? 90 million he had, at least.
Yeah.
More or less.
His net worth is between 90 and 100.
100 million, of which say more or less $10 million was deposited in one at one of the most reputable investment companies in Jamaica. But it goes to show you that you're never 100% sure what can happen. Hindsight is always 20/20, because now we can say, well, maybe he had to put his money in different funds, just to spread his risks. But as I said, hindsight is always 20/20. When you know of if a company has a good reputation, you invest in it. You don't really think that things can go south, at least not to this extent. So we really hope that Usain Bolt can pick it up. Yeah,
Bounce back.
Claw back. Yeah, but
Yeah,
I mean,
bounce back.
bounce back. Yeah,
Claw back, maybe, but
yeah, you can't claw back
bounce
anything. You can't claw back anything. And the person, because majority of the times when we're talking about a theft like this, committed by one person, a natural person, you're not gonna get the money back. But yeah, we really hope that not only Usain Bolt, but all the other victims, the other 39 victims, I think it was, will bounce back, because some people had their whole life savings invested with that company. So all the best to them. And in Flo Rida's case, the reason why Flo Rida won was because the contract was not clear enough. It wasn't disambiguous enough. The contract was left a lot of room for interpretation, multiple interpretations, and that is why Flo Rida was able to win the case, because the energy drink company Celsius couldn't prove, or the drink company Celsius couldn't prove that Flo Rida actually didn't meet the benchmarks, that he didn't reach the goals set out from the get-go. So goes to show you one more lesson. So it goes to show you that you need to have your contracts right in business partnerships. But another lesson, sometimes you need to quit while you're ahead, because Flo Rida demanded $30,000 at the beginning, and they said no. And he ended up getting $82 million. So it's sometimes in disputes, I always say it's if you can avoid going to court, it's the best alternative. But to avoid going to court, you need to have, or at least all parties would need to negotiate out of good faith. And if you're the only one trying to, reach a deal, a reasonable deal, and the other party is playing hardball, and you go to court, in court you go for everything. You don't go for, a settlement amount. So a lesson for Celsius and for other companies we all can learn. Sometimes it's better to just quit while you're ahead, even if you think you're right and you're a multi-billion-dollar company and someone wants to settle for 30,000. Someone that actually promoted the brand, that's still promoting the brand, still believes in the brand. Maybe it's
owner, co-owner.
Co-owner of the brand. Maybe, just maybe, it's better to just settle so you can continue getting that money together. Kiara, I believe that's the show recap. If I miss out on anything, please let me know.
No, I think that was clear. And remember, guys,
But I can only show you the door.
you have to walk through it. Thank you, RJ.
Yes, guys. Thank you. Thanks to all the viewers who are watching the live and rebroadcast. Whatever your thoughts are, please let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to rate the show by pressing the like button. Follow us on our social media platforms, Facebook and Instagram. And remember to not only share our video, because sharing is caring, but remember to subscribe as well. We have a goal. We want to reach 1,000 subscribers by June of this year. Put it in the universe. So we really appreciate your subscription, your commitment to our channel. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe. And as we always say, let's have a healthy conversation in the comment section below. No need to delete each other. With that being said,
Have a nice weekend.
Have a nice weekend, and we'll see each other next time. Take care.
Next week, same time.
Next week, same time, 1 o'clock Eastern time.
Yes, sir. Bye.
Peace.